Hello and welcome to Love Anything Art. Today I will show you how I made this rainbow necklace with sparkles. Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to do a scrap clay project, kind of. It's a scrap clay slash regular clay project. Basically, you'll need any kind of clay. It does not matter what color it is. Use any scraps you have. It's going to be buried underneath our beautiful rainbow slab, so we can use any colors we want. I'm just going to use this big rando pile of glob of absolute little pieces of everything I've ever used. And I'm just going to break it up and just kind of condition it in my hands and pick away all of the wonderful little kitty hairs. Meow. And while I'm doing that, I just want to welcome everybody to my channel. Thank you so much for watching my videos and supporting my channel over the last 2+ years. I am so glad you are here. If you are new to my channel, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I do post videos once a week. Yes, once a week, every Tuesday, for your viewing pleasure, with about 200 videos for you to binge watch. Lots of cool, fun, little neat ideas. Once you kind of work it and get it into a tube shape, you'll just keep working that and get it into a long snake shape. You do want it to be rather thick, since this will be the center part of the necklace. You don't want it to be super thin because the clay we're going to wrap around it is going to be pretty thin. I laid it out into the shape that I want it, which is a necklace shape. And then I'm going to just take my fingers and lightly flatten it, more on the sides than the center. But basically, just go around the entire tube. I'll show you here from the side so you can kind of see. I'm just applying a very light pressure, doesn't take much. And you'll see here, of course, the back side will be flat and then the front will be a domed shape. And the sides kind of come to a little bit of a point. Continue on with the rest of the necklace until you get to the other end. I'm finishing up mine here. You can also use the edge of a tissue blade to kind of just trim up those sides a little bit and get it all nice and even. Once you have it into the shape you want it and flattened, you do want to measure it against your neck and how you want it to lay, how far you want it to lay down your neck. So I'm just going to measure it now and then cut off any excess that you might have, which I do have quite a bit. I do like my necklaces to set up a little bit higher to my neckline. I don't like them to hang down so low, but that is just my personal preference. Okay, so we're going to make the rainbow Skinner blend. So these are the colors that I looked up online that said make up a rainbow. So I kind of wanted to be pretty accurate about it. Basically, some of the colors mixed together will equal other colors. So while planning it out, I kind of went through and laid out the colors that they suggested. Red and yellow make orange, so I actually don't have to use orange clay because once those two mix together, they will make the orange color. And then for the next color, the yellow and the blue will actually make green, so I can get rid of the green color. And then the last colors there, which will be the blue and the purple. The blue and the purple mixed together will kind of give me the indigo color that's supposed to be between there. Not completely accurate, but pretty darn close. With each of those colors, I will take off a small chunk, and my red color and my blue color actually have some glitter pieces in it because that's just the kind of clay that it was. And I'm actually really glad I used it because it comes out really pretty in the end. I think it adds a lot to it. It gives it some little sparkles in there. Of course, you could always add glitter at the end. You'll want to roll each of those colors into a ball and then just gently flatten it on one side so you can get that beautiful teardrop shape. And those colors there in the background just look so pretty together. I just love them. I'm already loving it and I haven't even finished it. But you'll want to keep those in the order of the beautiful rainbow color. Ah, so beautiful. Ooh, so beautiful. Okay, enough silliness. So put them all together and then just gently flatten them with your fingers. And also you'll want to make sure you make enough of the Skinner blend to go all the way around your necklace so it's going to cover the entire thing. Of course, you can make your Skinner blend very thin, so if you did not make enough of your Skinner blend colors, you still have enough to completely cover your necklace. But actually, this actually made plenty and then some, so it doesn't take a lot to make the Skinner blend. So you won't really need a whole bunch of clay to do it. I have mine nice and flattened, just cleaning my work surface. Bring it over to my pasta machine. And make sure you have it on the thickest setting. I have put it through there on the thinner settings before and ruined everything. So just make sure your pasta machine is set to the thickest setting before placing it through there once, just to elongate it and make everything even. Ah, it's so pretty. And then of course, just sandwich it, fold it in half, and put it through your pasta machine. This is actually kind of therapeutic, putting it through there, folding it, putting it back through there, folding it. I don't know, kind of have fun with it. I'm kind of a weirdo like that though. Keep going until you have a nice, pretty rainbow slab. I'm going to cut off the messy ends. And make sure you clean up your workstation. I do need to push in the sides towards the middle a little bit to make this Skinner blend thinner and not so wide. So I'm just going to work on that. If yours is not as wide as mine, then you can skip this part. Once I've done that, I'm going to put it back through my pasta machine to elongate it, to stretch the colors out. And I'll do that, taking it down one step at a time until I get it as thin as I need it to be. Okay, and again, you can cut away your messy, uneven ends. And then bring your necklace scrap clay piece over, and you'll want to lay it out into the neckline shape. And you'll have to decide how you want to cut up your necklace. You can either do it in whole slices, either as thick as the little slab I have here, the rainbow slab. You can also cut it into smaller sections and see how it gets divided up. I'm going to take a moment and think about how I want to cut it up. Okay, I have made a decision. I'm going to cut it up into smaller pieces. This is just totally my choice. You can do whatever you want to do, whatever you're comfortable with doing, whatever you think in your mind would look the best. I have all my pieces broken up here, just kind of separating them out, just to show you how big the little pieces are and how many pieces I cut. And the part that'll be at the bottom of the necklace, I actually made bigger than the rest of the pieces. I thought this would really break up the kind of monotony of all the pieces being the same size. Thought it would add some character to my necklace. Take one of your pieces, lay it on your slab, and then you'll kind of roll it over to make sure that you have enough to cover your little section. And I cut the entire length of the rainbow slab. Once I kind of have it wrapped up to see exactly how much I'll need, just leave a very little bit on each of the ends so that you can pinch it and cover up the clay, the scrap clay in the middle. You don't need a lot. And you'll see here I've went the length of the rainbow. So I started from one side, so it went from the red, yellow into the green, and I cut it away. And I'm going to pinch all that together, the sides, the bottom, and then basically just take a little while to kind of smooth it out and get out all the little lumps. I want it to be very, very smooth. If the backs don't bother you being uneven and rough where you can see the seam, you totally don't have to do this. It's your necklace. If you don't mind that kind of being there, then it's all good. Kind of looks like a strawberry in a way. And then right where it ends, the next one will take up. So then it will go from the rest of the green into the blue, the indigo, and the purple. And depending on how big your pieces are, your cuts might look a little different. So you might have more color on one piece than another piece. But since this is how big I made my pieces, you'll see here it'll continue on. You can either go from the purple right back into the red. I'm going to actually flip mine over and go from purple and then start backwards again. It's up to you, however visually you want it to look. So you just take a minute to decide what you want to do. Ooh, it's so pretty. Sorry, I had to show it to you again. I just love it. It looks so pretty. Okay, I am finishing up my last piece here. And I'm going to put stick pins inside of each of my little pieces. And I do want 2 of them. I thought that that would look best and keep the necklace flat on my neck as I wore it, instead of just doing 1 through each of the centers. So I'm going to do 2, 1 on each end. That way, when I put my string through it, it will sit flat and it won't kind of flip-flop back and forth when I am wearing it. It'll just lay very pretty on my neck. Just gently press it through there. You can use your fingers on the outside to guide it all the way through from one end to the other. And if you feel like it's poking out, you can just pull it back out a little bit and then kind of push it up or down or in a different direction. Once you have it in there, you can lay it down on the flat surface next to the next piece, and you can kind of push the indent into the next one so you kind of know where to lay it. With my larger piece, I am not going to go all the way through. I could not figure out a way to physically do that, so I'm just going to put it in a little bit so I have plenty of room to glue my string inside. I actually have all of my pieces done. Just going to work it out here, get rid of any finger smudges, make it nice and pretty. Once I feel like everything is good to go, just kind of separate everything out onto my piece of paper and then pop that in the oven and bake it at whatever recommended temperature for your clay. When it's done baking and cooled, just remove all of those stick pins. Be sure to keep your necklace laid out in the shape that it's supposed to be in, so each of the pieces fit back together accordingly. I am going to use some stretchy cord. You can use any kind of cord that you want. I just thought that this would be best and it would look good, and I like to stretch out my necklaces kind of when I'm wearing them and play with it. So, totally up to you on however you want to put yours together. I've gone through all the way until I reached the big piece, which is where I have to stop because the circle doesn't go all the way through. Just taking a little bit of super glue, putting it on the end of my stretch cord. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to put it down in the hole on my big necklace piece, which I'll show you right now. Once you put that in there, you will need to let it sit there just for a few minutes to make sure that it is dried. It actually really only took less than a minute, but just give it a few minutes just to be sure. You'll want to go all the way down and into the next side, and then you'll also do the other side of your necklace as well. You can cut away all of the excess string. Be sure to leave just a little bit at the top there so that you can work with it and you can get on your crimp bead cover through both of the strings. And then you'll put on your bead, crimp bead, crimp that into place, cut away any of the excess string, wire, cord, whatever you're using, and then go ahead and pinch that together. And then I did put a clasp on mine. You are welcome to resin yours. I thought it looked pretty just like this. It's kind of sparkly and shiny just the way it is. But if you want to resin yours, you go ahead. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I did enjoy making it. I listened to quite a few podcasts while putting my necklace together, and I hope you enjoyed this. As always, I appreciate you watching to this point. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!